These are 4-pack rifle mag cards. If you've been around, maybe you've seen we did a 6-pack pistol card. And the way I built those was kind of hourglassed by sewing, pinching the seams. They kind of fall in, so they're just a little flatter. It really does nothing for you other than look nice and takes a lot more labor. But I sat down yesterday messing around with a 4-pack single rifle mag. I don't know what we call it, 4-pack single rifle mag. But where you would put this, all it is 4 single rifle mags side by side. We make a single and we make a stacked. We've made this forever. This is a little newer single. It's open bottomed and it is meant to take these Kydex wedges. Once you get these in here, they are near impossible to get out. It really takes some doing. But you could make this with a cradle underneath, so you could still use it without the wedge and then just run single mag, but you could still put the wedge in there if you wanted to. You can build these also clean faced. You could build them with Velcro on them, so you could put shotgun cards. You see a lot of that when those Ranger kits came out decades ago. That was, you know, mag with shotguns on the face. Everybody, you know, wanted to run those. You can run them with pals, where you could stack other stuff, but the real purpose of this is the BBD bags. We've done several videos on these BBD bags. We've run a lot of these in the last 4 weeks, and it's just an awesome, awesome bag. And it really is our Mystery 9 bag we ran is the BBD bag, twice as wide. It's the BBD bag with twice the depth. So this will go perfectly on the face here. And you could run it on both sides, or you could run 6x6s. Anyways, this video is not about these. This video is about this. That's the purpose of it. You could also take any chest rig that has 4 mags side by side with pals, and you could stack that on there. That would give this 3 deep. Wouldn't want to do that. But if you had one that was single and you wanted to scale. Now, we've never made a 4-pack. We've made a 3-pack. I've had a 3-pack in the catalog for 20 plus years. Well, we were building them even in San Diego for the Navy. But we never did a 4. And guys asked for a 4. And generally what my feeling is, you have a single rifle mag, and if this costs $45, well, let's say it's 50. Let's just use 50, right? This is $50. In my head, this is $200. In their head, well, I'm just buying one piece, so instead of paying $50 for 4 of these, I want you to give me less money. I want you to charge me less and give me a lot more. Building these, it is way faster to build 4 singles than 1 4-cell. So just be cognizant of that. Why are we doing what it is we're doing? We showed the BBD bags with Rallymans, which is 3 mags per. So you could go 3, 6, 9, 12. That's a shitload of mags on the outside of this bag. My intention is CQB mags, 2, 4, 6, 8. But I thought we would just do this. I've been building a lot of stuff to be simpler to build. Like all of our CQB mag pouches, our Rallymans, our patrols, those are a big pattern. And the way we fold them and then 45 them and bring them in, the entire mag pouch from the tip of the lid, down the back, underneath, up the front, it's all continuous material. You're never going to see those fail. We have them in service 35 years later right now. Those rigs, and that's what's on our LBVs and stuff. Some dude 200 years from now, after the second invasion of the aliens, and then we overthrow them and take the country back, some dude's going to pull that shit out of a museum like Demolition Man, and that rig is still fucking 100% viable. Does it have to be? Does it need to be? So the stuff I've been building lately is how can I do this with a simpler build? We have a lot of employees, and you have different levels of skill with employees. And I have spent 25 years of my company being like, we only hire the best people. If they can't do everything, we don't need them to do anything. And I think that I've sold ourselves short. I mean, of course, we have people that come in and just do pre-sew work. But if you can design your product to do what you need it to do, but also be quick and simple to put together, then you can also, you know, compete on a price, right? Our Rallyman vests are $1,000. I have an email a couple times a week, guys asking. We don't even advertise them. But if I had 100 of them, could I sell them at $1,000? Probably not. Not, you know, over a course of months maybe. But so how do we bring that price point down? What do we do with it? Brandel was saying, couldn't we just take some laminate and laser cut the pals and just sew that piece on? And we absolutely can. This is a lot of labor putting these 3 pieces of pals on here so that you can attach something. And do we want them to be able to scale that out, right? What is our focus of the design? The focus of the design is to sleekly put 4 mags here. And then we're like, well, if we put Velcro inside it, we can put a Kydex wedge. And if we put pals on the outside, then they can put this. And shit, if I took the pals and sewed Velcro on here and then sewed Velcro underneath, not only could they use it as pals, but they could put shotgun. Fuck, you got a $100 mag pouch at that point. Like, people are not cognizant of that. So all of that, forget everything I just said. If you're here to see how to sew this, and I'm going to show you how to build these. This is basically my triple mag pouch. We used to sew all of these closed on the bottom. We would pinch them and put 2 little pleats here instead of having the cradle. But what that does is with the cradle, that sits right there, and this mag can be lower. If I pinch this, let's see, how much of this mag do you think that is? 1.5 inches? Man, imagine if we had a ruler somewhere in this building. Yeah. Check this out. So on the back side here, I've got 1.5. If we pleat this, that's as low as that'll go. I am now at 3. Maybe you like that, maybe you don't, but it's about real estate. You only have so much real estate on that torso. So we started doing the cradle. Some guys are like, I don't want my bullets exposed. I don't want that cradle bullshit. Well, we still build the other ones, but I'm going to show you how to do this. And especially dudes home sewing. Right here, I'm going through 2 layers of cordura on the back. I've got 2 layers on the face, and then I've got this webbing, and then I've got this Velcro covering the webbing so that it doesn't stutter. I'll show you what I'm talking about there. But going through here, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 8 layers of material. And then where I pleat this, where I got to pleat it, that's also 8, but it jumps up to 12 layers of material, right? So guys running, I don't know what the Walmart machine, Singer heavy duties or whatever, I always see these threads of like, what machine do I need? And I think his name's Ryan Hayes from WTF. Is that him?
So, right company, I don't know the dude's name.
I think it's Ryan Hayes. And he's like, here's the copy paste I give you motherfuckers every day when somebody asks it. And he's got he has the answers. Like, he's got the answers that I didn't even know. And there'll be some little turd behind him like, I do all this with a HD Singer for $99 from Home Depot. Yeah? Yeah, you know what I didn't find? I didn't find any evidence of you doing this with a $99 Home Depot. So I'm gonna show you how to build this thing. When you're doing a single mag, basically for an M4 mag, which translates to an AK also for the most part, you need 3 inches of surface area, okay? You also need 3 inches of surface area to make it work with this PAL spacing if you're making it to mount up modular and you're going to use malice clips or anything like that. The spec is 1.5 inches, right? So 2 of those is 3 inches. So for every mag you want to have, you need to have 3. If you want it, could we get them smaller? We could get them down probably 2.5. Well, I know I can because I've done them at 2.5. And you know what happened? They didn't fucking mount up in space right. Even if you're putting them on, unless you're coming up with your own attachment system, 3 inches is what you need on the back. So each mag is 3. So if you got 4 mags, you got 12 inches. This is 12 inches across. I'm going to build these as square patterns, and I'm going to hem in the raw edges. I'm going to make all of my edges 1 inch because any of my sewers can hem 1 inch. Some of them can't nail the other, right? They can, but it takes 5 times longer to do it. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you how this is going to work. I've already done the math. I built both of these yesterday, and then you can change it. That's the beauty of this. If you're watching this, I know most of you watch this because you love the sound of my voice and you think I'm just so fucking funny. But a couple of you guys, I know you're not gonna believe this, there's a couple of you guys that like, fuck that John Willis guy, but nobody gives out the free info that he gives out. So whatever you're here for. The beauty though, if you're building it, you can change it to do whatever you need it to do. And you can do it different all the time and just see which one you like. So let's get started. Now that we're 20 minutes into this and it's probably time to eat lunch. Are we 20 minutes in? Is it time to eat lunch?
We're like 14 minutes in.
Yeah, so round up. I mean, that's what my water company does, right?
Yeah. Did you ever figure that?
Even at a leaky, so I have a leaky toilet. They said water company's like, hey, you've used 85,000 gallons of water. I'm like, what's that look like? She's like, well, an Olympic swimming pool's 100,000. I'm like, okay. I should be able to walk around on the property and find water coming out of the ground. There should literally be, and not only that, I've used 85,000 gallons of water for 3 months in a row. So I should have like 100 shipping containers worth of water sitting on the surface of my property someplace. It's not there. So I go in and they've given me this whole printout and it shows every hour how much water's been used every hour. So 6. Most of the hours is 6. And she's like, do you have a leaky toilet? I'm like, not 85,000 gallons worth, I don't. And she's like, well, here's the printout. And I'm like, cool. So if I take all these numbers right here and add them all up, this is going to be 85,000. Well, I don't know that. I go, well, how do you not know that? Your program just printed this out and shows every hour what the usage is. Where's the page that's missing here that has those all tallied together? When I add these numbers all together for 30 days worth of water sampled every hour, where is this going to match 80? And they wouldn't say yes or no. It's on me to prove that I didn't use the water. So 6 gallons is the, most of the samplings are 6. So we just replaced a bunch of toilet valves. We know we have 2 that leak. They've always leaked. The entire motherfucking 12 years I've been in this building, they've leaked. And you know what I didn't have? An 85,000 gallon a month water bill. So why are we talking about that?
Because we hate the water bill.
But how does that, where did that come from right here? Huh?
You said round up.
Round up, yeah. Yeah, that's what you got to do. When your water bill should really be like 2,400 gallons a month. That's what the math said when I did that. If I took 6 gallons an hour times 24, 7 days in a week, times that, and then times it by 30, right? It came up, I don't know what it came up to, but it was a lot shy of 85,000 gallons. So
kind of like taxes. They want you to figure out where the problem was.
yeah, you guys know when I'm off. Like, why don't you just tell me what I fucking know? Let's just do that. My time, let me spend my time and my money making more money to pay you motherfuckers that you're going to steal from me. Why are we doing this? It's because they need the threat over you. They need the fear.
And we can arrest you and make even more money.
Yeah, the fear. All right. So we want this back panel to be, it's 5.5 inches. So if you draw a rectangle 5.5 by 12 and then add an inch to each side, that's basically what I'm doing. So that number is 7.5 by 14. Why am I giving this to them? I thought we said we weren't doing this.
Yeah.
And because it's woodland, I don't care what direction this goes. Man, you see, dudes will be like, you sewed this with the camo pattern in the wrong orientation. I'm like, what happens when you lay down in your uniform? You're in the wrong camo orientation. Like, I don't know what to tell you, man. You never been in the woods and see a tree growing sideways? So 14 by 7.5. I've got enough for 7.5 right here. And I'll come 14 right here. If you want to see actual how-to videos without all the talking, with like multiple camera angles, maybe we can do that on a different membership level or something where it's just step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4 with a front view and maybe a top view or something. Maybe we can do if there's enough interest in that. And then we need 20.5 by 11. I fight with myself all the time about how I'm going to nest this because I'm thinking when I come in here next week and cut this up, I've got all, like I have this dead space right here. I have tons of this shit under the table right now. I always come back and use all of my scrap, especially when we do big projects or high volume stuff for like, we did a ton of stuff with Wrangler Star and Radio Made Easy. I can go back and use all those pieces to cut the little rectangles and stuff out of for that. So we don't have to hack up. I can come in, listen to a podcast and just rip that shit out. Everybody has this perception that the laser cutter, and the laser cutter is great for cutting volumes of stuff. But if you have a ton of scrap that if you have a bunch of pieces, but you're going to cut this little laser cutter doesn't fucking do it. You got to weight it all and nest it. It just doesn't work. All right, 20.5 by 11. This piece we will run with the orientation. 20.5. I'm fucking completely off. I've got this ruler is wore out here. I say this at least every other video. These squares right here, you want the black one made by Mays, M-A-Y-E-S, because it's metal. The yellow ones that you see at Home Depot and Lowe's and Sam's Club or Walmart, they're aluminum and they shift. I like having the weight. Now you can get magnets that will stick on also, which don't stick to the fucking aluminum ones, but you could add more weight to this. But for some, consider these to be consumable. If you use these a lot, here, zoom in right here. Nobody came in here and rubbed this off. All these marks are worn off from moving this around Cordura. That's how much we've used this thing. And I think this was new when we brought it in here. 20.5 by 11. You know what I did get? You guys need this. AF mat. Check this out. It's a USB chargeable pencil sharpener. Looks like a little robot. It's got these little, it's got that little pussy lips in there. See those? Check this out. Sucks it down, sharpens it. You can adjust the tip and the taper. I have it super sharp right here. It does eat your pencils up. You're going to go through way more pencils with this than just a razor blade, but you can adjust that. And I actually marked it. I made a mark here a couple times yesterday to see just how much of this pencil it was eating up. And it's going to basically take it all the way down to right here when you sharpen it. So it does eat your pencil way quicker, but what is your time worth? That's it. That's what it comes down to. You're not making money sharpening pencils. You're making money putting stitches in. I also got this. These are the 7000 series stainless tailoring shears for professional use, made by this company. Does not want you to know who the fuck they are because they do not have much branding. Kai, C-A-I. I got these off Amazon. I saw a short on Instagram talking about scissors, and they recommended 2 different brands, but only one of them was on Amazon, and that's this one. And I normally, it used to be you buy a 10-inch shear, a 10-inch scissor, and you go back a decade, the blade, that was the blade length. And now that's the overall length. So I bought 12-inch shears, not sure what I was getting. And I actually got, there are 12 tip to tail, but the cutting surface here is 6 inches, which they seem way bigger than that. But I have ordered the same shears over and over and over. These Extreme Edge Carbo by Kloss. And we've bought these off Amazon. Walmart used to sell these. We've bought these off Amazon multiple times. And I would just go back and find my history and go back several years and just click reorder. But what shows up is not the same thing. It's got the same verbiage and text. It's got even the same part number, but the size of the shears are different. Anyways, I got these. I thought Cody was going to be super stoked. He's like, those are way too big. Ooh, they are sharp. That's what I heard. I heard they're super sharp, and I heard that the steel they're using stays very, very sharp. So I can't find them. I bought that pair of Singers was at a Michael's or somewhere in Nashville, and they had a clearance wall. And I was looking for those, and I cannot find those. They look like those Guggenheims. They look just like the Guggenheims, but they're in a Singer box. Yeah, I like them too.
I like the weight of them.
I think they're the same weight as this. I think these bigger scissors here are lighter. If you want these, I'll put a link, click-through link in the description here, which never gets in there. We have every intention of doing it, but I never put it in there. So look, though, it might be there. Brandel makes so many videos and puts them up there. And he tells me when they're there, and then I never know when they're timed to go out, so I never make it back. All right, so what's going to happen here is I have 1 inch in each direction more than what I need. We're going to sew this in. So if you just make your marks at 2 inch, or I used to make them all at the actual size. I don't know why I did that, because instead of marking them at 1, where the fold's going to be, the hem is, if you mark them just double that number, then you have a line to go off of. So right there. So it'll look just like that, right? And then you're just going to sew right inside. Now you're going to have a few lines of stitching with this. You're going to sew one on the edge, and you're going to sew this one, right? Because that's the back, and you don't want anything catching it, unless you're going to cover it all with Velcro, which then doesn't matter. But if you be cognizant of the steps that you take, we do a lot of sewing that gets covered by other things. So you'd probably find that you can remove 15, 20, even 25% of your time and sewing out of the product you just don't have to, because it's repetitive. It keeps getting sewn over and over and over. My videos have a lot of words, but they're my words. You watch videos and you're like, man, this motherfucker said a lot of shit. He must have really read a thesaurus last night. Nope. He chat GPT'd all his shit. He's just memorized a script, or he is reading off of a script. All right. And then there's also the question of sequencing. If we're going to put mags in here, for instance, right? And we sew this here, just like when we did some of the wallets, we do this and this, right? You have all this bulk here. If you sew the side first and then this, now you have a clear shot. You have nothing to stutter on. Same on the bottom, right? Do we want these mags coming down in here to hit this edge? No. So we're going to sew the bottom first, and then we're going to sew this piece so that there's nothing for that to catch on. Then we're going to sew the top, right? So sequencing. This piece here, which I drew all these on, we're actually not even going to do that. We need just a single line in the middle. I was just busy talking to you guys, not paying attention. So this, we're going to build this the same way we did the cigarette pouch, or that single M4 we built a few months ago. Same type of build. So let's do these. I would not put black thread on this if I was you, because it's very unforgiving and you see it all. I am putting black thread on here because it's unforgiving and you guys will see it all. So you can see a little better on the video maybe what we're doing. Who turns those off? All right, so I'm going to sew the bottom first, and I'm going to sew the edge. The bottom edge, and then I'm going to do the sides. And if you build this out of sequence, chances are nobody's ever going to know. Now, if I was building this off video, I would just run this into the next piece so I don't have to cut this right here. I hate pulling thread and disconnecting, but because it's on the other side, I would really just chain this. A lot of guys, me included, if I was building this in the past, I would have double layered this. There's absolutely no reason for that to be. Now the top edge, and that gives us a clear shot. And this coming down, there's nothing to stutter on. And these pieces here where the mag goes in, we're going to put Velcro over here, so you're not going to have this ridge here, that lip. All right, there's the back piece. Should be 12 across and 5.5 inches tall. This piece here, I'm going to sew in. So this ridge right, where this meets, is going to be in the middle of this mag pouch. That mag coming in and out of here, there's going to be Velcro covering where the mag slides in the front. There's going to be Velcro covering the back. I am not concerned with this being two raw edges here. I'm going to sew this. Some of you guys, you might chase this and just do it down the middle. I like to do it down the edge here, just like this. And then I'm just going to adjust my edge. every 5-6 inches here. I'm just going to make sure I've got it right where I want it. And I'm just splitting that line. By that I mean I'm half on it, half off of it. I'm right in the middle of it. This one here, go ahead and turn it. When you're turning, you want your needle all the way down, just starting to come up. Now I'm going to butt this right next to it. I can feel where this is, and it'll stop right there. It'll just stutter. You could go down and sew that first if you need to. This is the sequencing I use. And we build a lot of products that have this, just like this. Our cell phone pouches, a ton of our shit has this. You can sew some webbing if you're worried about it. You can sew edge tape over it. It's a lot more work you don't need to do. Now I'm going to cross into the next side here. And I'm just going to sew straight down here. And then I'm going to cross to the next side. Do the exact same thing. And now I'm ready to go right into the next piece, and every edge of this is tacked down. It's all sewn. I'm going to go ahead and hem this. This is the edge right here. Conceal this raw edge. If you're using laminate, you won't do that. And then I don't want to cut it apart. I hate cutting it apart. It takes so much time and you waste so much thread that way. Cone of thread has, I think, about 4 miles of thread on it. We go through 100 cones of thread a week, so. I don't know, 100. We go through 25 probably. All right, so there's that. That's the front. This is the back. Let's math this up a little bit. I want to divide this into 4. I'm right at 12. So I'm just going to go 6, 3, and 9. And again, if you're making this modular, it kind of needs to be that size. You could shrink it down, but if you shrink it down, they don't space. And even if you get them to lock in using smaller attachments, you've still got those gaps on your belt. If anything, and you want to put more shit on your belt, curve that belt, put your shit on, slide it over a little bit more, and you'll find you can jam some shit in between those things. All right. Right here, I am at 500 millimeters. It's 19.5 inches, 500 millimeters. So I'm just going to go 250 and then 175. Is that right? 175? No. 125, 125. And then half that. 125. These are the individual cells. These are the width. And what I have to work with right here is 5 inches. So you figure on your mag, we need it 3 inches across for the cell. And the side, that gives us 1 inch. You can get these smaller. You could run these, I think I can run them down to about 4, but 4.5. But if I want to put Kydex in here, or I want them to be able to work for AK mags, which they will, you could tighten them up. But this is how we're going to do them right at 5. You figure 1 inch, but they're not actually 1 inch. They're a little less than 1 inch. And then the mag is 2.5, but you've got 3 for the footprint. I'm just saying a lot of the same words over again, the same. Let's cut these cradles. Now, I've got mine out lower than I want them to be. I had given it 1.5 inches on these. And I'm going to actually take that back. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, whereas I had these at 3.5. I want 1 inch inside here, 1 inch in the face, 1 inch on the back, and I want 1 inch across. I don't want my mags hanging down below there. You can. That's up to you. But I don't want those primers exposed right there. Just for debris and whatever. Ooh, should I use these scissors to cut this? Probably not, huh? Ooh, these cut like shit. Do you have different scissors, Cody, you use at your workstation?
I have a pair of scissors that is for nothing but Cordura, and then I have a pair of scissors that is for everything else. The everything else scissors are smaller. They're not like that set you have in your hand. They're like the big set, but just smaller.
Yeah.
Cutting through scuba and stuff like that.
They have like California and New York legal scissors. I don't know if that's really what they are, but you know, you buy a full-size knife and you open it up and it's got like a 2-inch. You're like, where the fuck's the rest of this knife at? That's how those stupid scissors look.
One of those things is you couldn't open it with just one hand.
Yeah, I've heard that too. That's how it was in California, I think.
You couldn't have ninja stars.
Yeah, that's Jaeger met me when we moved here. Jaeger met me at the off-ramp and he's like, here's your ninja stars. He fucking drove all the way down when we came off the interstate. I'm like, I just want some ninja stars. And he fucking met us over there and gave me ninja stars.
That's fireworks. As soon as we got out of California, stopped for fireworks, lit them on the side of the highway.
Yep, in Arizona. At a gas station, man, they'd have arrested your ass for sure in California. You're allowed to breathe fuel. You just can't light it on fire. All right, Velcro. This Velcro, I run mine top to bottom. You don't have to, but again, that magazine coming in and out of here, I don't want it sitting down there and getting rubbed and start to abrade. So I run them to the top, and we're going to do them at 5.5 because that's the height of this. Let's double check that. Yep, 5.5. And you can do all kinds of fancy shit with your Velcro. You could fold your Velcro under so that it's on the outside. You could sew it front and back, right, in case you want to put shotgun cards there. You can do all kinds of shit. You'll probably find that it is faster for you to sew 2 individual pieces than trying to fold one and getting it to line up. So, a lot of words. 5.5 times 8 is what we're after. If anything, cut it just a little bit longer and you can just shave the excess on the edge. Ooh, I'm back to 5. Just out of habit. I need these 5.5. I just cut a couple of these at 5. Like a lot of them. Buy yourself a digital cutter. You can just have all this shit. You can just put this on the machine, put your length, put your quantity, and it'll just chop this into pieces. And then if you once you have your product line kind of standardized, you will find that you use the same size of stuff pretty consistently in all your products. So like 1-inch webbing. We used to just have pull-out drawers in the shop in San Diego. We had a bank. We had a whole 12 feet of them probably that were pull-out drawers, but we had like tan, black, and OD webbing. And then we had like 1-inch, 1.5 inch, 2-inch, and then the same thing for Velcro for each color. And it just went down the line. But like a fasten-on wall kind of, yeah. We use those Plano, I don't know if they're Plano or Rubbermaid. The pull-out drawers, the same ones I still use today. When you buy those in sets, there's like 3 small drawers and the large. You can pull those apart. They'll unsnap, and you can rearrange them in the sequencing you want. So for like 1-inch webbing, for instance, we use 2.5-inch cuts, 3-inch cuts, 6.5-inch cuts, 8-inch cuts, 10-inch cut, 12-inch cut through consistently almost all of our products right now. Those were the cuts for all of the pull tabs and all of the math for all of the Rallyman, CQB, Patrol Vest, all of our LBVs, all that shit across the board. So rather than having to lace this up in the machine and cut it, we would just go to a drawer and pull the pieces out that we needed. They were already cut. And that it's all about time. So you spend a lot of time putting this in the machine and having it chopped up, whereas, and we can adjust the speed too on the machine to where it'll run. It's just running through. So there's reasons not to do that, not to do that also. On a full roll and with tension applied on the reel stand, you can run it super fast, but when it gets down smaller, you get some backlash and it starts doing weird things. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, there's that. There's this. My torch. We're going to conceal this raw edge right here. It's going to be sewn between the Cordura and the Velcro. This is the cradle piece. Cradle to the Grave, that was the best movie in the world. If you don't know what it is, go check it out. You're going to really like it. DMX, probably one of the hands down best actors in the world. Not quite as good as Steven Seagal, but they're both in the same movie. So Cradle to the Grave, make sure you check that out. Super actor. This is a bunch of that PALS webbing we had on a project last week that had just absolutely horrible pattern on it. So I'm going to go back and harvest a couple pieces out of here, and we'll go ahead and put attachments on the front of each cell of these mag pouches. I actually, on second thought, because we're running bungees, you can run the bungees U-it around the top pals and then through here and tie it. But if you do a single, then you gotta, it doesn't really attach right? I want to come one leg down each, so I really need 2 cells. But if I'm going to pinch these seams, I do not want to have to sew through there also. I'm just not going to pinch those seams. Actually, that's what we're going to do. So we'll put these on here properly. We're going to make them 3 inches. So that gives us the full, it'll function correctly. And I need 3. I need 12 pieces of this. I need 3 for each one. I'm going to cut them on my crooked hot cutter here. For ease of sewing these on, you want them all identical. You want them as close to perfect as you can get them, just because we're going to travel with it and sew them all on in lines. And I'm just looking for something here that has pattern. A lot of these particular pieces of webbing that we made have nothing on them but black.
Is that strips from the whole roll? Like cut?
It's across the bottom, 52 or 56 inches wide. We just cut them in that manner. Typhon's the worst. To really get a good pattern on Typhon, you have to cut it almost diagonal and throw, like you throw away about 60% of it. But if you have a name for yourself, once you have a lot of customers, you could list that at a premium with a good pattern and list it with low pattern content, and you'd still sell it. You have guys that just want it faster that won't care about the pattern. And then you have other guys that are very particular and will pay a premium to have the better pattern content.
In my opinion, anybody doing like multicam black or things like that, that's just because they like the color.
Yeah.
More so than function for any specific scenario.
Yeah, I mean, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
None of my stuff matches.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We need one more. Yeah, there's not much here. This should do it right here.
Pretty good one.
Yeah, this should be the last one. And I'll throw this scrap away when we're done. We won't work out of the rest of it. There's just nothing left to get. We're never going to cut a piece smaller than this. Man, this... Do I have a pair of pliers? Can I try to bend this?
Exhaust fan.
Yeah, you know, it'd be cool if I had an exhaust fan. Grab that piece that just fell there. Grab me that piece that just fell there. Even just having a little fan sitting here so it blows it out of your face. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think that's 12. All right.
Did your pencil sharpener?
No, I was just seeing what he was doing. He's trying to bend that more in line. You see what I'm talking about, right? Being crooked. Yeah. All right. We'll work off the back here to start with.
Where they actually put it in the housing are completely crooked.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, like where they drilled it.
It's not that. It's the guts inside of it in this shell.
I don't know. Things are only $100. Maybe we should just order another one.
Or this one's fine now.
Okay.
in the building and just put this one in there.
Yeah, but they use that way more than I do. It's gonna fuck them up too. Like, she cuts all the edges and shit with that. Usually if I have to make multiple marks, I'm going to use 2 different colors, so it just pulls your eyes faster. Everything I have here in different colors are all dull though, so we'll just do them all in white here. Yeah, give me something yellow or red or something. I'm getting a fucking ton of shadow over here. Thanks. All right. So we're going to sew the cradle on right here. I want this right in the center here. And you can box that or do whatever kind of crazy shit you want to do with it. I am just going to sew straight across here. I'm going to cover all of this here in a minute anyways. All right. This is what I was talking about where it stutters. When that magazine comes in here and catches this, even if it's sewn right, it can catch on that. I'm going to cover it with this Velcro. That magazine is going to come down here, touch this, and just slide straight down. So now, no more concern with that. Did I not make these 5.5? I could have sworn I cut these. Are these all at 5? No, that one, just these 2 somehow. Okay. All right. So now, where I didn't sew this, right? I'm gonna capture it right now with this. I have way too much shit piled here. Just give me 1 or 2. Thanks. better. All right, there's that. Let's go ahead and put the pals on the back of this. Let's cut these here. Yeah, no, I know. What did I say those were? 12 across the back. These are all raw edges. I cut them at 13. You do not need to sear both sides because we're going to trim the other side once they're in place. there a trash can right here? Never mind. I have messed this up pretty considerably. I should have put all these pieces on here first, because to put them on here, I now have to pucker all of these up. And in the build sequence, it's going to have to be done that way. So I'm going to go ahead and build what I can first, and then we'll tie those bottom pieces in at the bottom. Where are we at here on center? I've got a little less than 10, 25, and 25. All right, 25, 12 and a half. And then off of there. Go. All right, because the Velcro has to go in here, I got to put this on first, and then we'll flip it over and put the pals on. So because this has to flap under here, I'm going to start about 1 inch from the edge. Yeah, just cut that thread. All right, we've got these all flapped here. Top is right here. We will go ahead and find centers on all of these pieces of PALS webbing, or some of them. That should come out right at 3. Let's go ahead and just run markers. 1, 3. Here, yeah. Now I can't put this bottom one on. I'm not going to be able to put it on because I need to still access that. So it's going to be kind of a pain in the ass. I should have built this front panel out. We wouldn't have any of this. None of this worry. Second thought, I should go ahead and probably tack this in on the side here. And then we'll just peel them back when we put that in there. That way they're set and we don't have to fight with them. Do they have any armament out there at that Y12 site? Like, do they have a Nike missile base or anything out there? Were they ever worried about it getting as a target, or we just assumed that nobody knew about it?
Yeah, I mean, that was the whole point of it, was the secret city is what it's called.
I guess we didn't have Nike and all that till afterwards because there was no ICBM prior.
But going into the town, you get to see all the barracks that they turned into like apartments. So you can just see that it's all military looking. But now they're just normal apartments. And then there's gun towers on every road going into the town.
Yeah, I know, like the guard stations are there too, where you walk inside and you have to turn because they had all the bulletproof glass so that you couldn't.
National Guard building.
Huh? Yeah, that's all I know of it. Is I've not been there.
The National Guard was pretty crazy there too. It was like block barricades around the entire thing. And well, once you go in, you weren't allowed out.
Yeah, the whole town. That's how it was. But that's how, like Pripyat was like that, and you know all the Russian, like where Chernobyl is, same thing. Those people weren't allowed to leave there.
And all the banks there. That's why, like, if when you go in there, you'll see wide banking, and it's like all the banks are made to stay in there. Probably all gap from the outside, essentially. So yeah, if you're in and out from the outside, you couldn't do anything about it. I watched Oppenheimer, so like they don't. That's the dude in the bomb. Yeah, I mean they talk about Oak Ridge throughout it, but it's like they don't give you much detail. Though. Yeah,
I think it's pretty watered down too. Huh?
Very watered down.
Yeah, they made it from one perspective. What am I catching on here?
Have you watched Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare?
Yeah, I'm the one that told you to watch it. Yeah, I loved it. Yeah, there's a TV show, Who Dares Wins.
What is it?
Who Dares Wins. There was like 2 or 3 seasons, and it's the made-for-TV version of that, and it's on Amazon Prime.
On the normal one or with their subscription add-ons?
I don't know the answer to that. If you type in Ungentlemanly Warfare, it'll come up as one of the targets.
There's a movie about 50 Cent called Who Dares Wins.
Yeah, that's not what you're looking for.
Although it might be, because it's a good one too, I bet.
Or 51st Law. Look up Who Dares Wins. Oh, I don't know. I'll look it up and find it. I'll give it to you. Pretty sure that's what it's called. See, this is very tedious, all these pieces. I think that contrast between the multicam black and the woodland looks really nice. I like that together.
Oh, so you're saying you have to pull these up under here.
You're about to see exactly. I knew when I did it too, I was thinking, why is this going together so fast compared to yet? Because I knew it. I don't know why I did that. Okay, so these have to go under here. And now that's why we stopped sewing here. We're going to come around and sew these in. And then we're going to flip it and tack these down. And then we're going to do the next one. But as we do it, they're going to gather up and be in the way. So, ooh, I should not have tacked that on there. There we go. You just got to make sure it's out of the way. We're going to continue. I've got my mark on here right there. We're going to tack back into where we were. And we're going to sew right here. 1, 2, 3. And come back into here and tack. And you're really going to see this with this black thread, which is why I'm using the contrast thread on here so that you do see what I'm talking about. So you can see how bold it is right here. That's where I started and came this way. And then this is where I started and came back around. So we would have done that either way, but with the pals on the face, it just adds a couple minutes here. And it'll probably be easier to do these as they're flat so that we have less bulk to contend with. So now we will go ahead and we want to travel between these pals so they look the same, so they have uniform appearance. Any abandoned hospitals or anything there?
I was actually going to see about what I can find on it in these groups.
Anybody cool in the area that we should link up with?
Knoxville, maybe?
Sneak us through the underground?
Go to the Knoxville College.
Yeah, I mean, we're too far. How far is Knoxville from there? Another hour, right?
15 minutes from just a ton of crazy people around.
I didn't see anyone, but I have seen a lot of content where people are like, hey, be really careful at the college. While I have this flat, I am going to go ahead and travel between here and lock these pals in, which I didn't. Now I'm contesting with this here. Contending. Knoxville did have a really cool restaurant. I think it was called the Aquarium Restaurant. If you just look up seafood, it's there. But it's a massive, it's a big restaurant. And they have sharks and sailfish and all kinds. There's a couple big aquariums in there, but they have all these fish just hanging from the roof. Like you'd see at SeaWorld. Pretty neat. The food was very mediocre. It was expensive. And my medium rare filet mignon was fucking super overcooked. And the lobster was pretty, it wasn't very, the food wasn't very good. There is a Nama, is it Nama that's over there? There's a sushi bar over there that there used to be a location in Franklin or in Brentwood we went to all the time. But the original one, you've been there. They've got that chainmail between dividing the restaurant, hanging instead of drapes. And there's a real good antique store right next to there. There's actually 5 or 6 of them. But we're not doing antique stores this weekend. that little stitch is going to be in the way. There we go. From the train, how far to Waterfalls?
Depends on where. I mean, back to my place is going to be your best bet.
Which we have to go to head that way anyways.
Yeah. 40 minutes, 30 minutes.
In the direction of travel, which we would go anyways.
You'd be going.
Yeah. So maybe Sunday hit some waterfalls. And we should be able to get straight in that cave from there.
If you want to go to that one, yeah. But that would be Sparta, Tennessee.
Also same direction.
Yeah, a little bit out of the way. Probably 15 minutes off the interstate.
Say it again, Cody.
Sparta's a little closer this way. I think it's further down just a little bit. Yeah. You won't be on 40 anymore going through it.
Where's your Ku Klux Klan meetings at in your town?
Dublin's Crossing.
Is that really? Is like no bullshit? I could go there and see like dudes or only.
They won't be there right now. I can give you the address to the Renegades Bike Club.
Would they be friendly?
Probably, yeah. It's literally on my grandparents' old farm.
How about the Nazi camp? Where's that at?
The 4-H camp. They turned it into the 4-H camp.
Do I just look up Nazi on Google?
Yeah.
Like fucking maps?
In Crossville Nazi camp.
For real?
Yeah. All the buildings are still there. Is that where they kept Nazi prisoners?
Yeah, we brought them over here. No, well, it's not, the all of Y fucking 12 was paperclip. That in Alabama, a ton of paperclip in Alabama for NASA there. A lot of it.
But they took all their scientists.
We did take, yeah, we did. We got what we could get before Russia got them. I'm sure that those scientists that made it here like it here a lot better than they would have in fucking Russia. They did whatever they wanted here pretty much, whereas Russia they did a lot of programs and shit. Russia showed more of the stuff they were doing than we have. There's a lot of whispering and shit of some of the stuff here, but like Russia, they were taking trying to graft like a robot suit onto human beings and shit, and they all died. Like, of course. Like there's some photos of that have been out there for a real long time. If you put that photo up, people would say AI, but those photos have been around longer than AI. Is the camp, that 4-H camp, is it set up like as a museum? Like they have tours? No?
You can just literally pull right up and go into the old buildings where they house them.
And you can literally walk in the buildings.
Yeah.
What keeps like vagrants from homeless from sleeping in there and shit?
It's just not around any place where you would go to buy anything or see cars. I mean, it's out in the middle of nowhere. Just farmland. I mean, kids every once in a while go there and they'll break windows or something, but
I don't understand that, man. Like we'll be in just a pristine abandoned place, and then you go back a year later and it's just fucking destroyed.
All it takes is one kid bringing 10 of his friends. He brings 10 of his friends, and
like why are they so fucking destructive?
I have no clue.
And this black just fucking sucks the light in. You can't see nothing on it. Is that a semi truck here or what? All right. Almost. What? When are they bringing back Trailer Park Boys?
I don't know if they ever will. Now that Bubbles got caught.
What did Bubbles get caught doing?
Talking to underage girls.
Oh no! In real life?
Yeah. I think so. Your dad, or it was like sexual assault. He did something weird.
That was wasn't it kind of his show? Like, wasn't he like the ringleader?
I don't know. I only saw a couple episodes.
So I never knew it was a TV show. I had the DVD,
Yeah.
Trailer Park Boys, and there was actually several of them, like episodes or of the movie.
Yeah, he was charged with sexual assault by Halifax police on October 2nd, 2025.
In Canada?
Yeah.
Huh?
Are they all Canadian?
Yeah. Well, he'll be fine then, because they don't punish they don't fucking punish crimes up there in Canada.
He also had a battery charge a year prior.
Using the wrong voltage of batteries. Did the person deserve to be battered? How long is this video? Forever?
About 3 hours.
3 hours?
No. Probably about an hour and a half so far.
Alright.
More.
Alright, here we go. We're going to close the sides up. Do I have everything? Everything is sewn in. The cradles are all in place. My Velcro is all inside. My pals is all sewn down on the face. My pals is on the back. We can close this up now. I don't know that I'm going to. My goal is for my stitch line to punch through this line that's here and through this line that's here. This one's a little in, so I just want to catch this like right on that edge. And I'm kind of cognizant when I sew these also. I'm going to go ahead and blast another line in here real quick. I got that from Derek. We blast that ink in there. Blast that tattoo on him. He used to say that all the time. I want to be, you can't really see it. I got a line, but my webbing that's sewn on my sew line is not on that line. It's a little off. I don't want to sew a line beside one through the pals and have it shrink that up, although the malice clips will work. The old style malice clips were super tight. The new ones are much better. Let's see how close we are. Oh, wow, perfect. Imagine that.
Yeah, I'm going to get tattooed by this weekend is used to work with Derek.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Did you say mean things about him?
No. I met him at Blade Show.
Oh, no shit.
Derek.
Yeah.
And,
that's where we met him. You were there.
Yeah. But I don't know. was just funny because I said something. I said that looks like this guy's tattoo, and he was like, "Yeah, I used to work with him." And I texted him, he's like, "Yeah, I used to work with him."
At Hart and Huntington or in Florida?
Florida.
Oh, I've got this fucked up. Look here. That one's not sewn where it should be. I sewed through it with the Velcro. That's not good. And this one is flapping in the wind. Man, what a fucking pain in the ass. So, it's important for you guys to make stupid mistakes like that, because those are the mistakes that will stay in your head and you will only make them once. If I had a little dude that just stayed in the corner and came out when I needed something ripped out, like a seam ripper, like a sewing fluffer, but all he does is cut old threads out.
Cut seams and tell you the sequencing. Stop you and go, hey, hey, hey.
Hey, hey. Hey, motherfucker. And because they're tacked down, you can't, like... Okay, there's that. I can't get to this one without taking this fucking all the way apart.
Where is it?
That's a good question. Right here.
You're gonna hand stitch it.
I'm not going to fucking hand stitch it. We're going to just sew this one. We're going to sell this one for $25 extra because it's special. All the time I spend grumbling and trying not to have to pull it apart. I could have just been done with it already. Pull it apart, fix it, just be over it. Can we drop the temperature in here a little bit? Just kick it on so the air runs. Whatever, drop it down a degree or two, whatever it takes to get it to turn on. Okay. There's two separate heads to this mini split in here. How's that song? Ding, ding, dong. Ding, 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 dong. Keep your head spinning?
Yeah.
What, Cody? You just pointed at it? Go teach him. Don't let him be so defeated. There's only one remote. And yeah, and I'll point one at one, and while one's on, I'll point it at the other one to turn it on, and it'll turn the other one off. Quiet mode. Why don't they just make the motherfucker quiet? Or is quiet mode make it not as cold?
The fan just doesn't blow as hard.
Why don't you guys get better at making fans? Although we paid $1,200 for this unit when we bought it 5 years ago, and it's 18,000 BTUs.
Is that per head or total?
I don't know the answer to that.
Because like the window unit I use is 14,000 BTUs.
So I don't know the answer. We can get it cold, and
I can't even buy one that size at Walmart.
We-
They have 12s.
yeah, you got to get it at Home Depot or Lowe's. But the one we put in the Snake building, that thing was like $4,500.
Yeah, it's like a 36,000.
35, yeah. Yeah. Tad did give me a link. He's like, buy this one. And I'm like, cool, $2,000. And I went to buy it. It was sold out. I'm like, sold out, Tad. I got to have something. What do you got? He's like, I got you. He sent me a link and it was like fucking $5,000. I'm like, how about we meet in the middle? What do you got for that? I need to keep them hot, not cold. Is that what you guys are planning? I'm gonna come back, and you're not really getting tattoos this weekend. You're coming here.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna bring all the snakes in here, and you're gonna take all of this studio and put it in the new building. Is that what's happening?
Yep. Do an entire Omni wall, half of the whole thing.
Oh man, that'd be such a nice surprise.
I'm gonna put holders for all the rolls of fabric that's set up vertically that you can fill up to and fill off of there.
You know what'd be even cooler?
I'll have Velcro of every dimension.
That'd be nice. You know what'd be super cool?
What?
So I just had cubby holes. You had all my fabric already laser cut. I could just get the pieces.
It will be.
But then our videos would be short. We wouldn't get all these people to watch me just fucking talk about nothing and get all that monetization.
Oh, don't worry. There'll be a problem either way. But
Yeah, no shit. People really think that. They're like, you just trying to get us to watch the video longer. You just don't know how social media works. I was watching some chick. She looked like she was smart. Some business development bullshit this morning came up in my feed on YouTube, so I'm listening to her. Fuck. I still don't have this one sewn. So I'm listening to her, and she's like, social media is dead. All of our clients were setting up blah, 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 blah. And I'm like 12 minutes into this video, and I'm like, I still don't know what the fucking video is about. Like, what is it you're selling? Like, what do you mean social media is dead? Like, what the fuck is it
I'm on social
what's
media.
your product? I'm on here watching you on social media right now, bitch. And I thought she was going to she's going to like, if you pay me $1,000 a month, I'll get your SMS list for you, which is text messaging, guys, for you guys that don't know. Or if you pay me $1,000 a month, I'll subscribe to this $35 a month fucking email program for you and pretend I'm fucking doing something. Guys, we had a website built. It was $48,000. The company that built North Face's website built our website, and it looked neat, but it didn't have shopping. Like, you couldn't fucking use it for it. It didn't do shit. Like, we fucking went straight. We never even published that website. We went straight from that website to Shopify website, which we're still using right now. Okay. Where is this going to create another problem? I'm sewing through here. I sewed through this in the process of sewing the Velcro. So by cutting this, you know what'd be rad? You know what'd be cool?
What?
If these glasses had fucking little projector lights on them. I thought I said that before, and you're like, yeah, you need jewelers use them. Were you just bullshitting me?
No, I've seen them with the little square ones that have lights on the edges of them.
Yeah. I want like some, I mean, I even saw them in like Mission Impossible, so they have to exist by now. Here I am sewing through that again. Let's go up here. I do want to go to Istanbul, though, and ride motorcycles from rooftop to rooftop.
You can do that.
Well, I mean, Tom Cruise did it, so of course.
Yeah, but
I'm way taller than him. I can definitely do it.
he has the power of science.
Scientology. He has the power of Scientology.
Yeah. You don't have infinite life like that.
So I don't know much about Scientology, but I've watched some of the cult videos, you know, the people who don't like Scientology. I've watched some of their videos. And they're like, yeah, to really go up in the church and get to the next level, and yeah, you got to pay. Yeah, you got to pay to get to the next level. And and they didn't say it, but it sounds like it's like multi-level marketing.
Yeah.
Before you have to
literally a pyramid scheme.
They have their own cruise ship. They like no bullshit. They have a Scientology cruise ship. E.F. Hutton, right? That's him, E.F. Hutton. Is that the Scientology dude? Whoever the Scientology dude is, if you watch a documentary on the dude from Scientology, it's actually pretty fascinating. The dude lived quite the life. And then at the very end, they're like, oh, and he's the inventor of Scientology. Like the whole fucking video. Like, how did you not start off with that? Did you look it up?
L.
Ron Hubbard. L. Ron Hubbard. That's what I'm. E.F. Hutton. L. Ron Hubbard.
Created it in 1952.
That's why. What's that little short dude's name?
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. That's why he's a vampire.
L. Ron Hubbard was a science fiction novelist.
Mm-hmm.
He created.
Go figure.
He developed his new techniques into a new religious movement.
So he was around for the prime of the like asylums and shit. Is your friend's restaurant open?
Yeah.
Is that yes?
Mm-hmm. Whorehouse.
What's it called?
Whorehouse.
I thought I said whorehouse too. So I could eat there Saturday night.
Yeah.
Didn't he have something Harry Potter? Weren't they doing some Harry Potter shit or something?
Probably. They have like drink special stuff and things.
No, weren't they doing like some Airbnbs or something that were set up?
They were doing on their property. They had a bunch of Airbnbs, and each one was a different house.
Is that where the private school is?
But they sold that entire property 2 years ago.
Man, that's such a good machine.
You guys need to skip the hotel and get that Airbnb on our main street.
The one upstairs?
Elevator and stuff in it.
Dude, I'm only there sleeping now. How? I don't know what she just paid for the hotel rooms. We've got that diamond level for Hilton. I think it's diamond level. We get like they always have a parking space right up front for us, and they always upgrade us. Okay, so that's what I wanted it to look like. That's what they do look like. But you'll see here. Oh man, I hadn't done legs in like months. Not like real. And I did some legs yesterday, and now I'm fucking feeling it. That's gonna be a hell of a ride in the truck. Yep. If only they had something like some thick liquid that's in a needle that I could shoot into my muscles to make me higher performance. I think I'm getting fake steroids. Like, is that possible? Like the steroids I use, they're not real?
Not the ones you use.
Do you use this? But you use the same steroids I use.
Mm-hmm. Mine are real.
It's just because I'm 20 years older than you. That's what's up. Okay. That's what we're after. That was a fucking super long way to get. I no bullshit. I built the multicam black one first. I had this done probably in 30 minutes.
He went from an idea to a finished thing in probably 30. I know when he walked over and cut it and then walked over with it.
I know because I listened to one podcast, one YouTube video, and it was about 30 minutes. And then I did the next one, and it took a little bit longer because of the having to flap that and then, that. But there it is. That's what it looks like. 4 mags. You can see that you could definitely tighten these cells up some if you want. But if you want this to work with AK. Now, another thing too, the way I brought this together and met the raw edges right here, an AK mag is eventually going to chew this up a little bit. So when I do these for AK, I actually make the vertical piece. I put the height of the pattern at about an extra 3/4 inches, and I'm going to fold it and I'm going to meet at the end. I'm going to stop about 3/4 and I'm going to hem it over. And the reason is because that locking lug on that mag, when you have that in there, bullets down, it gives you a clean piece of fabric for that to glide over here, right? Because that raw edge is actually alligator lipped at the bottom and nothing hits that bottom down there. I'm not concerned with that on this build. So if that makes sense to you, it's because you know what I'm talking about because you're an AK dude. If what I just said, you're like, what is he talking? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it at all. But there we go. As you see here, we still have plenty of room in these cells here. And we can, how should we do this? Ideally, you're going to put a piece, here, well, let's use paper. Piece of cardboard is best. If it's a mystery to you as to where to get cardboard, you can go to your post office. You can also go to USPS.com, and they will send you cases of shipping boxes.
Like these guys aren't using Amazon.
Or no shit. What am I even thinking? I'm still, yeah, no shit. Like they're not using Amazon. So you can. I might be speaking too soon. These might be. I might have grabbed one that was out of the 308s. And it's weird because they all came from the same.
Well, I know there's 2 different ones for sure. But like the ones I bought, they didn't come off Amazon or anything.
Am I at the bottom? Nope.
I don't remember where I ordered those from.
See if you can pull this out of here. That's why cardboard is better. Now, see if you can get the paper pulled up and then push that back down. So we can, ideally, we're going to leave that in there clean at the bottom.
Paper pulled up?
Yeah.
And push that back down.
Yeah, you just need it. The paper's just there to mask that Velcro from touching. Once that Velcro grabs, man, you're not getting that motherfucker out of there. It's like all these dudes that are like, yeah, perfect. All these guys are like, I want modular. Yeah, pull it. I want modular gear. No, you don't. I might need to change it. You're not changing that shit. Okay, watch.
Don't change it, just have multiple setups.
It just pops in there. And it pops right out. I'm trying not to jar my shoulder. So right there, look, Mom, no hands. That's the way I do your mom. Mag retention right there. You can still run Kydex. That's what the Velcro is in there for. Velcro both walls. Why both walls? Because Velcro dot retention. You can put a 1-inch square or dot of Velcro on the mag. One side only. Two sides, if it grabs, it's too much retention to get out of there. One side, Velcro's in there, so you can do bullets left or right, whatever you're used to, whatever it is you do. That's why. So, yep, Velcro. Kydex, Velcro dot retention, or bungee with pulls. Let's go ahead and build some pulls here. Brendel's like, fuck, it's already dark. I thought we were done. You'll see guys do all kinds of stuff. There's even, I think ITW and National Molding probably even also makes a bungee pull to route bungee through. And you'll see all kinds of different shit. You'll see guys put Tough Tex on there. It's like rubber. You'll see Hypalon. You'll see guys use shoe goo. Do whatever it is you do, whatever that is. I build 2 different bungee pulls. For 308, I build them flat because anything that's running a bungee 308 is not going to work for M4 because the cell is too big, or for AK because the mag is shorter. And then I make them like this, right? So I've got 4 pieces here. These 2 raw edges are tucked in. I step them back so that I can get my cord channel through there. And then I fold these over so you have a good tactile feel with gloves on. That's the 308. For AK, and I don't have that piece at the top, I run them all the way in, and then I sew them and I put channels in them so that it's like this. Because this will sit on top of the mag for the M4, but on the AK, where it's curved, it will catch it on the corner and keep them in. And that's how I do those. I'll build them. You'll see it here in a second. Now, past that, for that tactile feel, if you want, you can put whatever you want here. You could take another piece of webbing and sew it on and bulk it up. You could, I mean, you can do anything. We always saw the seals like take our channels on our mag pulls, our 1.5-inch mag pull lid pulls, and they put a piece of brass in there and just whip stitch it. We saw them do all kinds of shit. So let's go ahead and build 4 of these. If we're going to run them, we might as well chain them. And I think if we've been doing this with products right now, like our improved Leatherman pouch, it has PALS channel on the back. But if you want belt attachment, then you just add the $5 and we send you the extra piece that goes through those channels, which has helped on build stuff. It's helped on production, and then you can get that thing at a little lower price if you don't need it. And I think that's probably what we would do with these, is just send them out. You will buy this if you want. And then if you want the bungee kit, you'll get 4 pulls and 4 bungees to go with it. And then the Kydex, if we do the Kydex. I keep calling this Kydex. It's probably like, Kydex is just a household name now, like Kleenex probably. Some fucking heatable, moldable plastic.
Some sort of plastic. Not liquid dinosaur.
You know dinosaurs are bullshit, right?
Wouldn't be surprised at this point.
There was a dude.
What is fucking real?
There was a dude in Newark Park, right around New York. I think it was New York or Chicago. And he was like world renowned for having all these dinosaurs that he had put together. Okay. But it got busted out that it was complete horseshit. Like he had just made it up. But he was like world renowned for like 20, 30 years. I don't care if they're fake or not. Could you imagine having a fucking Tyrannosaurus Rex museum display in your living room?
There was a place I went somewhere around the Nashville area.
And it's in Murfreesboro.
Yeah. It's a small place.
It's an industrial unit.
Yep.
And it's a dinosaur museum.
But it's not mainly dinosaurs.
Yeah, it's more like rock hounds and shit. Yeah. So those guys have a mold set
Yes.
for a Tyrannosaurus Rex. They have one on display. And
Is it that or is it a stego?
the fuck am I hearing? Bass out of a car? No, it's a T-Rex. And they wanted 28 grand at the time for a full set, but it's not articulated, right? So you got to build your frame, and you got to it's totally doable. I mean, I'm sure if you bought one,
Just get a box of pieces, they're all numbered, and it's like it goes together.
yeah, but they actually make them there. They sell them to museums and shit. Yeah, I mean, they have theirs on display. Somebody there made it.
Yeah.
You can buy a box of giraffe bones. They're pretty expensive.
I'm sure.
They're way more. They become way more valuable when you assemble it. There's probably a lot of sets of giraffe bones sitting in garages and shit where they've just never been put together. All right, so I'm going to sew right here. That's the front. That's the top right there, right? I'm all the way up in the bite. This is what I'm doing right here. I've got these pieces here, and I'm folding it in, and I'm jamming those up there, right? So right at the top in the bite, I've got 4 layers of material right there, and then these are even. So I'm going to sew this a little more than half. Like, you figure that out. You do yours however you want to do it. You want to be the less than half guy, be the less than half guy. My gear is better than John Willis's because I do less than half. There's literally motherfuckers out there. They watch us every week. All right, so I'm going to do those, and I'm going to do all of these together. And you will have shift, right? If you do 20 of these and you're just going one to the next, to the next, to the next, your first one will be a ½ inch different than your last one. So you might want to, just make a mark or measure every few of them or whatever. Or use your calibrated eye. What was that I saw today? Oh, you thought, you're a turn your cheek kind of Christian. Turn the other cheek kind of Christian. Yeah, I'm a knock all your fucking teeth out kind of Christian. I'm pretty sure that's what that said. Something to that effect. Is that what that said?
Yeah. That was
the
first one you sent me today.
Do we put one on the front, one on the back, or do we put them both on there, or what do you think we do?
With
what make that into a shirt?
I don't know. Maybe just the back.
Would you wear that to church?
I don't think I've been in church.
No, I know you've never been to church, but if you had the shirt, maybe you could start going.
Oh, yeah? I've been to church, yeah.
Yeah, but you've never been to a church service. You've been to a place where a church sits.
I've been in tons of church services. I'm going to a church service April 2nd.
For what?
It's the Jehovah's Witness
Shut
memorial.
the fuck up.
I'm serious. I'm going to the memorial.
For what?
They do every year. They do a memorial for Christ, and it's like they just get together and I don't.
Is this your mom?
No.
Your stepmom? Is she
No.
Jehovah's Witness or
No.
something? You know somebody that is.
Yeah. It's the
Are you
guys I
filming
used to
for
work
him?
with. No.
You should go to his Walmart. The Mormons will try to get you.
Yeah.
I like Mormons. They get their shirts so white. I'll be like, okay, I will play Mormon, but I get to carry a briefcase. CTR.
I'm riding bikes all over our town.
If you're Mormon, you know what CTR is. There's a book series called The Work and the Glory. It's a kind of Little House on the Prairie-ish, told of a family who was Mormons who, made the trek across the United States. And how they'd set up a temple and then get run out, of one state or one town and then go to another one. And there's actually, I think there's like 12 or 13 of those books. And then they made it into like a TV show. saw that one. See this right here? Cutting these apart and burning all these threads. If you're like, man, that'd be an easy job. I have that job. If you want to do that job, I have that job here at this shop. If you're that guy, let me know. If you want to come work for, get bossed around by a bunch of women that seem like they don't like you, this is the place for you. They won't boss you around. Unless you're a do nothing. If you're a do little, you won't last here. We have a lot of shit on this table. What the fuck happened here? All right, I don't have any bungee out here. But the way these will go.
What do you need, 4 of them?
Yeah.
Normal length?
22 inches? Huh?
It's usually 16. Changes with like 2 different things that we do though. I can tell you those are 16.
These are 16s?
Guaranteed.
I will take 4 of those. He better be right. He's so sure of himself.
You mean 8 of them?
No, I only need 4 because this is 4.
Oh,
That's a stacked rag. That's a
Gotcha.
stacked MIG.
You think he'll be right?
Yeah, I think you'll be right. He just cut like fucking 8,000 of them. And you have to hand cut them. Like our cutter won't do it because they're bungee.
Yeah.
So as it's pulling it through, it stretches. So it'll cut.
But then it's like,
And then yeah. So, all right. So here's the bungee. And we run ours in the front. Actually, I guess we do these in the back, don't we? Well, we do the front ones. You have to on those rigs. You have to do them to the front. So we'll just do them. I'm not going to do this one here because I've got the Kydex in there. We'll just run these right here. Plus, if you run them to the front, you can adjust them as you wish, if you decide you want to do that. And these channels, you can poke an awl through there or a screwdriver and open them up when you're going to do a bunch of them. Like usually when we're lacing these up, we're putting hundreds on at a time.
Those ones aren't cut very cleanly either.
And I sewed these, so my channels are a little tight. So right there, and then one leg here, one leg here. This bungee's fatter too.
It is.
Yeah, I'd like to have another 2 inches on this probably. All right, so there. And then you can put your mag in there and then pop that right over the top. And then on an AK, it will sit like that, but the AK rocks more. So it actually fits on an AK better at that angle. But that's why I make these split like this. So there that is. That's what that looks like. You've got the Kydex, and then you've got the Velcro retention. So where would you use this? any place that 4 mags would fit. Now, do we go out and are we going to actually produce these? I don't know if we're going to produce them or not. Every now and then, the dude's like, will you make a 4-pack? And I'm like, no, just buy 4 singles or buy a triple and a single. We've never made a 2-pack and I've never made a 4-pack because we just never had needed to. We made the triple because it's typically 3 mags on an armor carrier, and that's just a holdback from back in the day. And then we made the singles because you can stack them up and make any amount that you want out of those. So, but typically, like I started in the video, a dude wants to buy a 4-pack because he thinks it should cost less than buying 4 singles. And maybe it will when you build them and you sell them, but not when we make them. So now you know how to make them, and you can make them as big as you want. The footprint is 3, the face is 5, multiply that by however many cells, and now you know how to build this product. So please, you guys that do make these, tell me what you think you would sell this for. Not once, but if you had to sit and make 5 of these every day, what would that be worth it for you to sit there and do that, right? And that time, that's life, right? The time you spend doing whatever for however much you're getting paid, that never comes back. So when dudes are like, oh man, if I could make $100 a day, that's great. But how do you make 1,000 a day, right? And then once you make 1,000 a day, how do you make 5,000 a day? That's where shit starts changing, that accumulation. So leave it in the comments. Let me know. Would you buy one of these? Do you want a 4-pack? Do you have a BBD bag? Do you have a Mystery 9 bag? And if you build these, how long did it take you to make it? You're not going to know until you build, a dozen or so of them. And your real time is going to come when you're building like 6 of them together, and then you divide the 6 by the final time, and that's the time per unit. So curious to hear what you guys have to say. If you're interested in a different video where we just remove all of the blabber and just the facts on how to do this, like a little more produced, up close, different camera angles, let us know.